honestly thought Canada was just like America. It isn't. It really isn't. Coming to places and countries like this, you're able to maximize it, and to use it in a way in which that it helps you, and it helps you to evolve into something a lot better, a better version of yourself as well. So
expectations versus reality. We are back with Stephen, and we just heard about the GJDYC. If you didn't hear about it, go check out episode 2 and check out episode 1 to find out how Stephen even got to Canada. And within 3 years, he's involved on a global level and all these wonderful things. And now we're going to talk about what did you expect before you came to Canada, and what was it like when you got here? Expectations versus reality. So what are some of your expectations before coming to Canada about Canada? And how did it match to the reality when you actually got here?
All right. So in terms of my expectations for Canada, I honestly thought Canada was just like America.
In what way?
In terms of high energy, late nights, places, you're able to go at any time, the malls and that all that kind of stuff. It isn't. It really isn't. By 8 o'clock, everything locked.
That's not true.
By 8 o'clock. But at 7:30, you see them start closing up the doors.
Okay, fine. Maybe.
The place is closed early over here.
Earlier than the US.
There's
later than Jamaica.
There's not much. By the time 9 o'clock, there's not much to do. So it's just like you have to go home and just spend time with the family. No, that's not a bad thing. But what about those who don't necessarily have a family?
Fair.
We just have to go
I feel
home
like
and sleep.
downtown Toronto is a little bit different, no?
It is. But sadly, even the transit sometimes, the train doesn't even run 24/7 for downtown. But, and in downtown it's very expensive though, so you can't really live downtown per se either. So you have to find the right balance. But yeah, I thought it would have been a bit more high energy. But I'm not complaining. It's probably just the right energy that I needed at this stage in my life. So I can't complain.
What about the cost of living? So when we spoke about in episode 1, you spoke about, the move from Jamaica had to do with, cost of living, affordability, all of that stuff. And you come to Canada now where, how do you find it compares to what you expected or even what you were experiencing in Jamaica?
Okay, so that's actually a very good question. So in terms of cost of living, the truth is that cost of living it's expensive regardless of where you go, right? So to say that one is better than the next, it wouldn't be fair, right? So things are expensive regardless of where you go. But depending on the job that you have and the salary that you get, if you were an IT analyst in Jamaica and you're an IT analyst in Canada, if you compare that and see which one would probably, compensate you better, then you'd probably be able to adjust and see where you get the better quality of life. Now, my choice of coming to Canada wasn't necessarily only for the finances or cost of living, but an overall quality of life. Right? Now, I'm able to walk on the road at 10, 11, 12 p.m. right here.
And feel comfortable.
And I feel comfortable, right? I don't look over my shoulders. And that's a culture shock for me. Because even here, I'm looking over my shoulder and I have to remind myself that we don't necessarily have to do that anymore. Right? So yes. But it's just these different things. It's the overall picture that makes a difference, really and truly. It's overall picture. So, I'd say the cost of living is high regardless of where you go, but it's making the most of what you have where you are. And if it isn't working somewhere, I'd say try something different. Or try somewhere different. And that's what I did with Canada.
Cool. So would you say that Canada met your expectations? What it is that you came here for? Do you think that your hopes and dreams have been met?
I would say that it has allowed me to realize that certain things that I have achieved now, I probably would not have achieved it if I had stayed in Jamaica.
Okay.
Right? So there are opportunities that you have in such a first world country where we have extremely talented people in Jamaica who aren't able to make use of their talents and their creativity and, to be able to build out what they would like to.
Yes.
Coming to places and countries like this, you're able to maximize it, and to use it in a way in which that it helps you, and it helps you to evolve into something a lot better, a better version of yourself as well. So that's essentially, I think, what happened with me as well.
Was there anything that you met when you came here that was like a shocker, like, oh my God, surprising or challenging having come here? While you think, I can plug something here. Want to think?
Yeah.
Well, I think that the image of Canada, North America, in terms of ethnicity of people, I think I would expect probably to see a lot more Caucasian. I didn't know what to expect, but I think I was expecting more Caucasian.
That is true.
Having come 10 years ago, and even now it's even more diverse in Toronto specifically. Other places might be a little bit different, but I think as time progresses, each place is becoming more multicultural through immigration in terms of the color of people that you're going to see. And I came expecting a lot more Caucasians, and that's not what I saw.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Things are a bit different from what you see online or on TV. It's a bit more diverse, and
in a good way.
In a good way, and you're able to meet people from different cultures, so it widens your appetite and your experience and how you view things, and it helps you to think differently as well.
So no shockers, no challenges that you can think of.
A few culture shock here and there. I guess church is a bit different, Church is a bit different on how things are done, but outside of that, it's preparing yourself, having an open mind with how you view things, I guess.
Yes.
So staying true to yourself and, and having an open mind kind of thing.
Cool. How does the Canadian lifestyle, because you were in Jamaica for a while in your adult-ish, young adulthood, how does the Canadian lifestyle differ from the Jamaican lifestyle that you recall?
Oh, boy. So life in Canada and life in Jamaica. I miss my friends back home. I miss them.
Is that life in Canada and Jamaica though? Okay, because here you don't really have that friend community.
I still have a few friends here, but like when the weekend comes, you get a call. Yo, do you want to go to the river?
I know.
Do you want to go to the beach? What do you want to do this weekend? Let's hang out. Boy, that's not... Over here, it's like every day is Sunday. Every day. You can't tell the difference. You cannot... So there are things that you enjoy, things that you love, the food, the vibes, the energy that you get, when you're feeling down, you can go by your friend's house and that kind of stuff. These are the small things that you miss when you leave your home.
So that's the nature of being an immigrant, no matter where you are,
Yes.
I think, yeah.
So these are the things that I think differ from my Canadian life. From my Jamaican life, and I miss, these are some of them.
I think so, yeah. I think so too. Especially since now I've just visited Jamaica, a proper visit, because I hadn't been back properly in like about 2 years, which is uncommon for me. And just being able to say, oh, sure, I can go down so and so today, and we just got out. I went down to a different house, hung out there and down there with my 3-year-old, all that stuff. And on Friday, I picked her up from school. I'm like, I don't want to go home. Where do I go? It's different because you don't have that community, and it's the nature of immigration. It's just that you build up these friendships and communities across however many years of your life, and you have that network, and you come here and you don't have that luxury as a working person, adults, all these things, to build that network again.
And honestly, it's understandable too, right? Because you can't have your cake and eat it too.
No.
You have to make a decision. If you want to do something that will probably make you better, there are some things that you need to sacrifice, right? And these are the small things that some people just aren't willing to sacrifice, and some are, So these are the small things I sacrifice just to, I guess, to better yourself and to take that extra step to get you where you want to get to. And I think it's a fair exchange for me.
And it's funny, it doesn't have to be a sacrifice necessarily. I mean, it is going to take a lot of effort. Like you've gone... put a lot of effort into finding community. And in a similar way, I mean, you found a church, so I'm sure you have like a little bit of a church community.
Yes.
My community is my church community too. You go to church far? So most people probably live out there. So if the church was more local, you probably would have had a lot more local people to hang out with, maybe. Well, I
Maybe.
do.
I've been to quite a few churches,
Okay.
and the one that I go to now, it reminds me of back home.
Okay.
So I just hold on tight to that.
Yes.
I hold on tight to that.
Yeah.
But one of my recommendations is that when you come to Canada, there are many Jamaican associations across Canada, right? You have the Jamaica Canadian Association in Alberta.
Yes.
You have the Jamaica Canadian Association in Toronto. You have the Jamaican Association in Windsor, in Hamilton, in Ottawa, in Winnipeg, Saskatchewan. I'd recommend that when you get here, reach out to the associations. These are Jamaicans. These are people who are willing to, to bring you into their community, to offer a sense of home. People who you're familiar with, you eat the same food, you think the same way, the same culture, and nothing is wrong with that. I think that's a good way to start.
Yeah. And then continue to build your network and then just nurture friendships where you can just be like, it's not like I have nobody to call on Friday that I can go, because I did end up finding somewhere to go, but it's not as easy as in Jamaica. But if you put a little bit of effort into rebuilding your community, essentially, then it doesn't have to be a sacrifice. It is a short-term sacrifice that you then rebuild and have community therefore. Alright, cool. So Canada sort of met your expectations. You're still kind of young, a young immigrant in that capacity. Young immigrant meaning young to Canada.
Oh, okay.
You're young
Sounds
still,
more potato.
young to Canada, and so you still have a lot more runway to have a lot more experiences, build more friendships, build more networks, and all of that stuff. So we, of course, will check back in with you at some point in a year or so. So that is your expectation versus reality. So we're going to wrap it up in the next episode about, how to get in contact with the JGDYC, some advice and tips you have for new immigrants, old immigrants, anybody coming here, and what you have for your future and yourself coming, in Canada, since you've only been here for 2 years? Literally 2.5, 2, 3. You're young. I've been in January is my 10 year.
Wow.
Okay. So catch episode 4 either next week or it's already out depending on when you're watching this. And if this is the first episode, go on and watch episodes 2 and 3, 1 and 2, because this is 3. Remember to subscribe, like, share, all those wonderful things, and we will see you in the next video.